Sad news today for former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich and his fans. Things just got a lot less funny. Our fourth story tonight, breaking news out of Chicago this evening, a devastating indictment. Blagojevich indicted on 16 felony counts, along with indictments for his brother, former chief of staff, and businessmen. Just tonight, Blagojevich released a statement asking the people of Illinois to afford him the presumption of innocence, saying, quote, "I'm saddened and hurt, but I am not surprised by the indictment. I am innocent." His indictment lists a lot of wrongdoing anyway, specifically 11 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts attempted extortion, 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 1 count extortion conspiracy, 1 count of making false statements. Among the detailed allegations that last year Blagojevich decided to provide additional state money to a Chicago hospital if the hospital officers raised $50,000 for him in campaign contributions. The hospital was Children's Memorial, and the money Blagojevich allegedly tried to trade for donations had been budgeted for Medicaid reimbursement of specialty care pediatric physicians. In broad terms, Blagojevich and his associates explicitly plan to use his public office and others for their financial benefit, prosecutors claiming he sold state positions, sold state contracts, all in return for campaign donations, jobs, or good old-fashioned checks. And while prosecutors allege Blagojevich tried to leverage his authority to appoint Barack Obama's successor in the Senate, there is no suggestion of wrongdoing by the man Blagojevich picked, Illinois Senator Roland Burris. And Blagojevich himself, not even in Illinois today. According to reports, he is, and we kid you not, checked in at the Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa at Disney World. Actually, in Chicago tonight is Mary Mitchell, Chicago Sun-Times columnist and member of the editorial board. And Mary, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
The indictment suggests that these were not isolated cases of wrongdoing, but a concerted, strategic, knowing decision to turn the State House into a cash register. Can you amplify or correct me on that assessment?
I think that's absolutely right. And here's what's interesting. I covered the federal courts in the early 1990s, and this indictment that's come down against Blagojevich reads a lot like the kinds of indictments that they had against drug cartels and against drug and gangbangers. This is a criminal enterprise indictment. This is an indictment that says not only former Governor Blagojevich was up to no good, but he had recruited a whole group of people who were helping him basically defraud the taxpayers. This is an amazing document, 75 pages, fascinating reading. You can't make this stuff up.
What would Blagojevich's lawyers be most worried about in this indictment? Is it the detail that you're talking about or the number of people cooperating with prosecutors?
It's got to be the number of people cooperating, because you have to think that when you see all these names, you talk about John Harris, you talk about Lon Monk, you talk about William Salini, you talk about all these names that's been mentioned, you can imagine that one by one they must have been hauled in and were given an opportunity to, you know, do themselves some good by spilling the beans on the former governor. So the lawyers for Blagojevich have to be worried exactly what did these guys say and really how much have they given to the feds.
Mary, what's the Blagojevich defense for all of this?
Well, his defense is the thing that he continues to say, even as he celebrates with his family in Disney World. He will continue to say that I have done nothing wrong. And he's a very, very persuasive person. You got to remember that the jurors are going to be from Illinois. This is, as strange as it sounds, this is not new in Illinois. They've heard of politicians before trying to shake down people for contributions. And so Blagojevich is going to basically say that he hasn't done anything more than any other politician has done.
Finally, on that whole Blago outsized personality thing, it was funny for a while, but in light of these charges and the familiarity that Chicago residents have with this kind of stuff, does his personality help him with the jury or maybe hurt him? I mean, I'm sort of wondering if people will resent him for using that shtick to cover up some truly slimy deeds, if true.
Well, if true, if the feds are able to prove their case against the governor, I think that what the jurors and the people who will be watching this case are going to be totally disgusted. But again, I just have to remind you that this is Illinois. This is nothing new. We have a former governor right now sitting in jail, and Blagojevich in Disney World seemingly having a good time, not worried about what's going to happen to him in the future.
Mary, any big surprises in Chicago in terms of how everybody there is reacting to this, how the local media and what the mood of the city is and all of this?
This was expected. I think the surprising thing for me, I'm going back to the criminal enterprise, that they've gotten down to the point of saying they will take the governor's house. Now, that's amazing. You think about that in terms of, drug deals where they come out and take the Cadillac and the Escalade. They're talking about taking that same house over on the north side that the governor was seen going in and out during this whole period of time. So this is a criminal enterprise indictment, and I think that's what people are going to find most surprising.
Mary Mitchell, the Chicago Sun-Times. And Mary, thanks as always for coming on.
Thank you.